Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Olympia Soiree, and we finally met all of our future husbands in the last part. Well, the last of them. We didn't meet all of them in the last part. We finally finished meeting them in the last part. That's what I meant. But anyway. And even though Riku comes across as kind of a dick at first, like, oh, these freaks down here, it's like, he gets embarrassed very easily, and it's kind of cute. So see if that it keeps up. You know what I mean? If they hold that up. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Whatever. Here we are. I appreciate what you did back there. I can really feel the strength of your love for me. I don't love you a single bit. I just couldn't stand how rude he was. This is funny because we're going to fall in love with him first. Riku, I mean. But now you know how the people on the surface view the people of Yomi. They hate Yomi so much, they shouldn't come down here. They don't have a choice. That guy's a member of the Yomi Patrol, which are the same guys who guard the Kunado Gate. They basically keep watch of the area so that no one from Yomi manages to crawl back up to the surface. I looked at a piece of paper littered on the ground, unsure of what to say. He called you lower class. Because it's true. I frowned at him. Wait, you don't know how many levels down we in the Black are on the hierarchy? Come to think of it, I don't. Yeah. Okay. Oh, game. We're getting a little choice here. Black is known as the Darkness class. It's classed even lower than the Versi. Versi? We're going with Versi. It could be Versailles, but... Versi? No. Darkness, the last tier of Tengu Island's color hierarchy, comprised only of the Black class. God. Those of this tier may marry from the Pied or Versi tiers, but are able to remain single as none of the three tiers are required to marry. While the other ones are required. See, they never actually pointed that out before. It was like, oh, you can marry this tier and this tier. They never said you have to get married. You're allowed to remain single because, you know, it's better for us if you don't breed. It's basically, I'm surprised it's not like, you can't get married. Hey, at least we give them some basic human rights. Holy fucking shit game. Black equals night, so everyone shuns the color out of superstition. But that's, I mean, you know, black is usually equated with dark, you know. I don't mean like people, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you think about it, like goth. Well, I mean, you could be a pastel goth, but that's like a new thing. But usually, like, when you're like, oh, it's dark and with vampires, they're not like wearing fucking neon green, you know? Beetlejuicy, I guess, but that's... Now, I know what you're thinking. No one really wants to talk about the black. Kaza was being polite not to mention it. I felt so frustrated that I didn't know what to do. I bit my lip, thinking about what he just said. Sure, the dark is scary, but... No need to feel sorry for me. You'll scare your husband away with that face. Keep smiling. Everyone's been avoiding me in the plaza on the surface. It's like they're afraid of me. To be honest, I'm still not all that sure Akaza made the right choice. Sounds nice to be able to find your soulmate on your own terms. And considering how marriage works on Tengu Island, your freedom's a dream come true. But the moment you go outside, trouble follows. I doubt that'll change. But... there's lots to worry about. Someone could abduct you and force you to be their wife or something. I feel like the game is now setting us up and like, this is what is going to happen. The game is like, this is why we put the M for mature, and there's lots of implied assault because be prepared. Here you go. This is your freaking trigger. This is your warning sign. Like, danger, danger, Olympia. Stay away from the surface. Aren't I being watched over, though? You are, so no one would dare lay a finger on you except for that troublemaker earlier. Yusuka said something like that to me, too. But be careful, because real evil hides inside the people who put up a good front. I feel like I'm really concerned that this is going to be one of those games where, like, okay, everyone seems nice. And then you get in someone's route, like we get in Riku's route, and then it's like, this character's upset about it, so they attack. Like, don't. You can make any other side character be a shady motherfucker. Please don't make my love interests, like, creepers and other people's routes. Because they all come across as actually genuinely nice people. Flirty whores included, you know. But I'm just saying. Even if you do know the person, they may still be deceiving you. So be careful. He said something like that too. Yosuga and I were raised here in Yomi, so we're always suspicious of other people. Huh. They were raised in Yomi? Kuroba may be of the black, but he's the Kotowari deputy director, and Yosuga's of the purple, so he is of the secondary tier. I didn't have the courage to ask him about his upbringing, so I pushed my curiosity aside. Again, I feel like that's kind of interesting because you're like, they're baiting you to make you be like, ooh, I'm kind of curious, but it's probably something that's going to come out in his route, so that's nice, you know? Well, Doma both looks and acts evil. You've seen him before, right? Brutal. He let out a hearty laugh. After catching his breath, he gave a brief sigh. So he's deceiving you after all. He isn't deceiving or threatening me. I go up on stage because the sun is precious to me. The women of Tenyo Island are born to protect and worship the sun. It wasn't a lie. That being said, sometimes I did feel stressed about bearing such a heavy burden alone. Looks evil, eh? So why would our evil Lord Doma want to keep a rare white like you beside him? I heard that Tenyo Island women of the white are able to dispel darkness by offering a prayer to the goddess of the sun, Amaterasu. Perhaps Doma, the outsider, is planning on using the power of the white to usurp Hiroko's position and gain control of the island. See? Doma's like, no one will ever love you, and then he's gonna... See? I feel like he's... Look. He's hot, but he's shady. Like, I mean, come on. The second he showed up, you were like, you look like Snape, so I know you're probably evil. But it doesn't mean I don't love you. Doesn't mean I don't think you're kind of hot. Like, look. Sometimes the evil characters are sexy. I know you're not a love interest, so I'm supposed to be like, you suck! But it's like... I mean... Jigen's probably going to be the shady, evil one, because he seems like he seems nice. Like, oh... I'm like the nice hippie guy next door, and he's like the one that's gonna stab you and carve you up in his basement. What? I'm just saying, never mind. What? Or maybe Doma's just a bachelor looking to enjoy the beautiful white in his own bedchamber. Wow, Kuroba. Bedchamber, a word for a bedroom that sometimes takes on an intimate connotation depending on the context in which it's used. Which, in this case, absolutely, he was like, he wants to fuck you. From what I know, those two rumors are talked about pretty often on the island. They must really want to see me become Doma's lover or something. They did call you his mistress at one point. Like, wasn't he like, oh, Doma's mistress? And you're like, wait, what? And it didn't phase her. She just like, let it go. And we were like, back that up, what? You can't imagine how long I cried the night I first heard that rumor. Oh. Okay, so she knew about it already. My favorite feather pillow was soaked through. I'm not surprised. You don't need to believe me, but I swear I have never slept with another man before. A man. You should just say A. And Kuroba's like blushing. He's like, oh. This flirty whore is like, oh, what? I couldn't believe I just said that. How embarrassing. That aside, I've never heard anything about him wanting to usurp Lord Hiroko's position. I rarely ever see him at the manor, and I doubt he'd reveal such a thing to me. I believe in your innocence. Don't worry. Suddenly, I was blushing again. He was, too, when you were like, I have never had sex. And he's like, oh! He's like, girl. I mean... I feel like that should be the assumption. Like, women are allowed to... I mean, maybe it's not like that kind of... If it's basically the society, as soon as you're 18, it's like you have to get married, and then and then boop, we put, you know... Boys aren't allowed to marry till they're 20. Could you imagine? There's no childhood friend trope. There's no such thing as childhood friends here. That trope doesn't exist on this island because, like, you could never grow up and be like, I'm gonna marry my childhood best friend because, oh, wait, you're 18 and now you're married off and he's only 18 and he's gotta wait 2 more years. And that, like, It's like they can get married. I mean, I guess you could wait longer. But with us, it's like, no, you gotta get married now. But it's still weird, you know what I mean? Because your parents would be trying to sell you off, so it's very antiquated. So with that antiquatedness of like, okay, girls at 18 can go get married and like whatever and find yourself a husband and shit like that, it seems like, I mean, we don't know the full rules, but it's giving you that vibe. So he really shouldn't be shocked when we're like, I have never had sex before. He should be like, yeah, kind of implied. Like, you know, you'd think like, oh, you're worthless, you dirty slut. Because, you know, I mean, still, even in the modern age, there are way too many people who think a woman who is in control of her body and has a healthy sex drive is a whore. And like, but if you never had sex, it's either seen, oh, there you go, she's the most wonderful, or you're approved. Like, you can't win. But, so you'd think in this antiquated kind of society, it's like, no, you must be virginal and only for your husband. Meanwhile, your husband can fuck whatever, anything that moves. But then you're like, but women have to be the ones having sex with you unless you're doing gay shit in the back, in the bathhouse. Which, whatevs, whatever floats your boat, buddy. But, like, I'm just saying, and then you're like, women must be virginal. Then who's having sex with you? That's my question. Like, I'm just, the whores in the theater district, or whatever. So, maybe it's not that antiquated, where she's like, I can find a husband, but, like, I might have been around the block a couple times before that. You know? I don't know. They haven't quite given us that kind of world building. Like, is it like your wife should be virginal? Or like, do what you want to do, girlfriend, and then when you find a husband. But like, I don't feel like he should be embarrassed about the fact that an 18-year-old is like, I'm out looking for my husband and I've never had sex before. He shouldn't be like, he should be like, I hope not. Good God, girl. You're a teenager. Worry about like school and other shit. Not fucking boys. I mean, I don't know. Anyway. I can't believe what I said. I mean, it's okay. It's okay to be a virgin. It's okay to not be it's okay to have gone around the block 16 times. It's okay to not go around the block at all. It's okay. Shouldn't be ashamed of either way. Just saying. But I can understand if you're like, that's my own damn business, and then everybody blurts it out, or you blurt it out, you're like, whoopsie, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I'm glad you know you can be honest with me. If you really were just a puppet to Lord Doma, I wouldn't have wanted to be friends. You don't like Doma either? I just hate everyone on the top. I mean, can you blame me? He chuckled bitterly, which made me feel a sudden weight on my heart. Aw, that's so sad. He's so good-natured, and he's like, I hate everyone. Aw. Aw, you're such a well-rounded person. Lover, this man from the black class? Don't tell me you don't know about the color classes. And yet we're gonna fall in love with him. The black. Cordova must have experienced things like that so many times before. I mean, if you think about it, like, even though it's kind of like, oh my god, game, what the fuck? It has its moment when you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying things like this, but it does register in your head like, yep, nope, see? Shit like this is bad, people. Shit like this has always been bad. What the fuck? Like, I think the most uncomfortable part is because, like, I'm reading this out loud, and, like, then I'm talking about the white and the black, and it's like, oh god, if anybody hears me, I'm just gonna sound like such an asshole. It's not me, it's the game! But it does bring up important issues, in a way. Like, in the back of your mind, like, do you see? Do you see how stupid this sounds? Yeah, real life does shit like this, and it's bad. So, I mean, props for that, but I suppose this is what it means to live on Tengu Island. Yeah, some fucked up shit, yo. Who is it? You're... Turning around at the unusual sound, I noticed a familiar face looking out from behind a wall. Okay, he was so mysterious and like, whatever, and now he's like, hey! Wait. Look at his skull! It has a captain's hat on it. I hope it's named the Captain. Oh my god. Oh my god. He is such a heavy freaking job, and yet he comes up, rolling up, looking like the most adorable fucking thing ever. You're like, look at you, you're so cute, you could kill me. I don't... Okay. Oh, I'm sorry if I surprised you earlier. Huh? What the? He was so menacing against the young man from before. I know, and he looks so adorable. You're like a little puppy. But in front of me now was a timid young man blushing with embarrassment. He's literally going to be the... he is... Okay. Tokisada's the lolly boy, but this is like the lolly boy. Like, I didn't think there was a tier above, but here he is. That's right. I have not introduced myself yet. How do you do? How do you do? I looked at Kurnoba and he was just as confused as I was. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, too. Next is... Oh, right. My name is Himuka. I'm Olympia. It's a pleasure. He's so fucking adorable. It's so freaking cute. Why does he look so glum now? That's right. You are called Olympia, aren't you? Well, yes. I am sorry. Was it all right for me to even hear your name? Of course it's all right. Thank you very much. What on earth was going on? Almost everyone I met tried to put distance between themselves and me. But he's different. Sort of. Oh yeah, he's carrying around a skull with a captain's hat on it, for fuck's sake. I'm not a fan of the lolly boy, so it's going to be weird. But at the same time, he carries around a skull with a captain's hat. So I got to give him points for that because it's fucking weird as shit and I kind of love it. Am I strange to you? I have not spoken to many people before. He hasn't spoken to many people before? Does he really mean that? But I can say that I bear no ill will toward you. And not a single bit. Not at all. In the name of Goddess Amaterasu, I will never harm or defile you. I see. He nodded earnestly at me. His demeanor was so terribly innocent. Undertaker Himuka, you were always the quiet type. I never knew you could be so vicious. Vicious? You mean earlier? It's pretty vicious to threaten someone with death, isn't it? But he was bothering Lady Olympia. Himuka stared at me again. Okay, I'm not a fan of lolly boys, but his eyes are really beautiful. Like, the way they drew them, they're just beautiful. His eyes were silver, just like his hair. There seemed to be a light glowing deep within them. Now that I have a chance to look closely at him, he's really beautiful. Even his wrists appeared delicate. His skin was so pale, hardly any different from my own. And of course, his eyelashes were longer than mine. Like her, she's like, and of course, he has gorgeous fucking eyelashes, because all men have goddamn gorgeous eyelashes, and we're the ones that have to put on makeup and look pretty and peacock. But like, fuck men and their glorious goddamn eyelashes. You should be the ones wearing mascara, you goddamn beautiful bastards. Men always have gorgeous eyelashes. It's kind of a shame. But it was clear to me that he wasn't a woman. I wasn't sure how to describe it, but he felt like an entirely different existence from me. Olympia, please beware of the evil here. If anyone harms you, I will make them disappear. You are to this world the most precious of all women. Okay, I'm gonna give you points because, like, doesn't every woman want a man to be like, you are the most precious of all women? Okay! You're the most precious of all men. Points for that! Wait, what? I suddenly recalled the silvery light that he was emitting from his hand earlier. When you say disappear, do you mean... I can use Batsu. That is my job. Himiko slowly swung the lantern he was holding. Oh, is that a show in there? Why do you... I stopped myself mid-sentence. Wait, is your job as Undertaker to gather show? Yes, all for you. Oh, he's gonna be that creepy one that adores us, like, I adore you. We'll do anything for you. A little creepy and sus, but you do have a skull with a captain's hat on it. It's kind of funny. I kind of love this. I kind of wish you were a little bit taller just so we could see the skull with the captain's hat. We just see the hat, but you can't see, because this is the funniest fucking thing. I love it so much. Looked at his face, then looked at the colorful crystal in his lantern. The way we send off the dead is different between those on the surface and in Yomi. Those on the surface hold a funeral for the dead, but there's no such thing in Yomi. I am called whenever someone dies. I quickly send off their soul with my farewell. Farewell, a way of expressing the solemn celebration of one's passing, used to mourn the departed in a respectful manner. And then we turn them into crystals and either sacrifice them to the sun or put them into Femur Bridge. What the fuck? Himika gently placed his right hand on his chest. I just noticed that the skull he was holding had crystals in its eye sockets. Farewell? Is that what people call Batsu on Tengu Island? Some do and some do not, but I like how the word farewell sounds. Bidding farewell sends best wishes to the departed. It's a prayer of well-being for the souls and a blessing to Lord Hiroko. Farewell. I kept murmuring the word. It's not really sending them off if you're gonna build them into a goddamn bridge later. Listen! I mean, the whole, like, we sacrifice them, we take your souls to the sun and the moon. Okay, sure, I guess. But, like, but otherwise I'm gonna turn you into Femur Bridge. I know it's a crystal fucking gate, but, like, whatever. Still, we're going with Femur Bridge. You know what I'm saying when I say that. But, like, we're putting you in a shrine. That's some fucked up shit. At least the people down here get like, oh, we send your souls to the sun goddess. Okay, sure, I guess. That's what you're in. That works. It feels like something, but like not a gate. Not a fucking shrine. Like next you're like, yeah, you like my necklace? It's made of a dead person. Like, weird. I mean, like, okay, I know people deal with ashes and stuff like that. That's, like, one thing. This is not, like, I bought it at the store. It's someone's soul. Isn't it pretty? Like, what? Weird. Oh, dear God, anyway. I kept murmuring the word. Batsu was something that had always frightened me, but the word farewell shed a new light upon it. And do not worry. Batsu is not something to be feared. It's a precious power to bless all the colors of this world. A gift. Himiko didn't know. He didn't know my power destroyed Doma's hand. And yet, I felt like my soul was being comforted. And there's nothing to fear about death. Those who have passed away must quickly be sent to the beyond. Leaving their bodies to decay would only bring about Haku. Okay, so I mean, it makes sense that, like, that's how you get rid of bodies, is like, we turn them into crystals. But it's not their body that's a crystal, it's their soul. If it's your body that's a crystal, then it really is Femur Bridge. Okay. But it's a little weird that it's, like, they keep referring to it as, like, the person's soul. Body makes more sense, though. And then you don't have to waste space on graveyards, like. And then also you don't have to worry about zombies. I'm just saying. Have you seen anyone with Haku before? Haku? Yeah, this has got to be, yeah, it's definitely a disease or something. Haku, an infectious disease that often develops spontaneously, but is also known to spread from the unattended bodies of the deceased. Those afflicted suffer discoloration of the skin, eventually leading to deterioration and death. I repeated the word to myself. It's a disease, isn't it? I've never seen anyone with Haku before. I've only heard about it, that's all. I've also heard the illness affects the person's color. The first sign of Haku is mold on one's skin. It slowly spreads across the body, discoloring the skin in its wake. And then the body crumbles. Seriously sounds like you're slowly turning to ash like a vampire in the sun. How did her color fade so much? Wait, she isn't going to die soon, is she? Oh my God. We're all bleached underneath. Maybe that person thought I was afflicted with Haku. That sounds horrible. And that's why I tend to the dead, to keep Haku from spreading. Himiko gently swung his lantern in a loving and caring way. The colorful show emitted a brilliant sparkle. The sight of it was so beautiful and faint. Their souls then become offerings to the sun for your ritual. What he said was the truth, but there was a thought in my mind that I couldn't bring myself to share with him. He's just doing the job he was tasked with. I can't condemn what he's doing. I know it's strange to say this, but thank you. It seems our work is connected. Aw, we made the adorable boy blush. Himiko nodded, seeming to be happy with what I said. He kept staring and nodding at me repeatedly. staring at me, nodding repeatedly, blushing with his adorable eyes, holding his skull. It was no different from a child's joy in being praised by their mother. Maybe his route isn't romancy. Because I just feel like if you're like, oh, praised by their mother, don't do that comparison and then fall in love with. That's weird. Am I strange to you? I've not spoken to many people before. He must have been through a lot. I suppose it'd be rude to ask about his background. Yeah, we gotta save that for his route. I smiled as kindly as I could. Himuka, I'm really thankful that you've been gathering show. But you shouldn't use it to threaten others. Your job doesn't require that you take life away from the living, right? You're right. His voice was so meek that I felt like I was in the wrong for saying so. Now, Himuka, you don't want to be bothered by the nuisance of a soldier again, do you? Well, that is true. I breathed a sigh of relief hearing his tone change. I guess Kuroba noticed that Himuka was feeling down on himself too. I'm happy you told me everything, Himuka. I've actually never seen a funeral here, so hearing about it was very informative. Oh, that's pretty lucky of you. About a year ago, my governess at the manor was hospitalized. She passed away at the hospital. I asked Doma when he was going to hold her funeral, but he said they don't do that here on Tengu Island. Kuroba and Himuka looked at each other. She must have been a Ko or an Otsu. Yes, an Otsu, I believe. The pied Ko and Otsu and those in Yomi aren't given funerals. Once they die, they're turned into show, and that's it. What? Kuroba forced a smile on his face. So, even how a person departs upon their death is decided by their color on this island? What was it like back on your island? We cleansed their body with spring water and buried them, then laid flowers on their graves and offered prayers to ease their souls. They're like, what? That seems barbaric and weird. You put bodies in the ground instead of turning them into a bridge? I mean, turning them into crystals and offering them to the sun is like one thing. That's like, okay, that's some kind of cool mystical power thing. Like, sure, okay. You know, people used to do that like, oh, we're going to push the virgin into a volcano to appease the gods. I mean, people have done weirder shit, right? But it's the turning their soul crystals into your fucking monument that is literally fucking fucked up. That's a nice way to send them off. It's better than putting them in Femur Bridge. How many times are we going to have to go through this? Kuroba smiled at me as if trying to ease my soul as well. Ah, there you are, Undertaker! You gotta come quick! The old man on Hinoe Road just died! Understood. Himuka bowed to us once, then left quickly. There's so much about this world I don't know. And don't feel bad. I can assure you that what you've learned so far puts you ahead of the rest. And the guys upstairs don't know Yomi and vice versa. Why don't they want to learn? Maybe it's because they think it has nothing to do with them. Or maybe it's because just knowing won't change anything. Which is why seeing you wanting to learn so much about things is reassuring. Feel like you're a lot closer to me and Akaza. I took a step back in surprise. She's like, that fucker again! I want her to get angry about it. I didn't expect him to connect us together from that conversation. I'm not sure if I should be happy about that. Well, that's hard to call, to be honest. After all, there's no end to human desire. Are you going to say something inappropriate? Let's say you learn something. You begin to feel unsatisfied with the status quo. Now you're looking to learn even more, to change things. But any attempt to disrupt or change the laws of Tengu Island is seen as unacceptable. So maybe it's best to not know after all. Well, I don't want to worry you, so let's leave it at that. And with that, he abruptly ended the conversation before I could ask him anything. See, I feel like that's where Akaza is. He's like, I don't like the way this is run, but I can't break the status quo, and this is the way it is. But, like, deep down, he's like, fuck this shit. You know? Perhaps it was him trying to keep things civil. Make changes. What he said seemed to strike a chord in me. Like, obviously, Kuroba and everybody in Yomi wants to change shit, because they're like, what the fuck? We're treated like lesser people. That's bullshit. But, like, someone like Akaza on the top being like, whoa, treating other people like that is bullshit is more rare, you know? Even if it was something I still didn't understand, Oh, right, about earlier. Let me add a doctor's point of view. Himuka said that Haku comes from the dead, but it often develops spontaneously in the living as well. Huh? As someone who was healthy yesterday might suddenly start vomiting up blood or see his face and fingers covered in white mold. So far, there's no way of preventing it. So I can't really tell you to be careful, but if you notice anything out of the ordinary, let me know right away. Understood. I nodded, feeling a sincerity and seriousness from him that I hadn't seen before. I'm kind of curious about this because it's like a plot point, so it's got to be important. Like, and what is it really? You know what I mean? There's some kind of, I have to admit, Himuko's worrying me a bit. He's too underweight to be eating properly. I hope he doesn't get sick and collapse in the middle of his duties. I couldn't help but smile at the doctor's concern. Maybe I can ask him to come with me to Yosuga's. That's not a bad idea. Oh, and I'm sure this must sound rude, but is Himuka a man or a woman? Probably a man. No breasts or butt. Right. I thought as much. I like that no breasts or butt. Excuse me, some women do not have big boobies, and some women do not have big butts. But also, some men have some junk in the trunk, and a flat ass on a man does not make you sexy, sweetie. I like some junk in my trunk. Actually, it's fine whether you have a flat ass or a fat ass, okay? But I'm just saying, sometimes the artists in these games give us flat-butted boys, and it's like, you could put a little junk in their trunk. I'm just saying, some of us like the booty, okay? Some of us want a nice, perky, like, apple bottom, okay? Just slap a nice round bubble butt on my boys. I want my bubble-butted, bastard bespectacled boyfriend, okay? I didn't think that was going to come out, so that's not a thought that ever occurred to me until just now. My bubble-butted bastard bespectacled boyfriend. Yes. Wow. Anyway. You must like pretty boys like him who can look either way. Hey, I mean, I'm okay with it. That's not what I was implying. It's just that he's very interesting. I can't deny that. He doesn't seem to be a bad guy, but I'd hold off on judging him just yet. I can use Batsu. Do you mind if I ask you something else? Those of the Blue Clan can use Batsu too, right? But he didn't appear to have any blue traits. Probably because of how he was born. There's this thing called atavism, where sometimes a person can use Batsu as long as they have blue blood in them. Since Yomi's filled with a mix of all kinds, it wouldn't be unusual. I see. So I guess he's not of the white then. But you can use it, so, I actually came down here to grab a bite. What brought you down here? I came to see if Tsukuyomi was back. No, I actually ran away from the surface. Well, you better get going then. See you around. Yeah, take care. As expected, Tsukuyomi still hadn't returned. He's not going to show up till the very end. There's like some kind of mystery about this man. This man's got all the answers to all of our mysteries. I went back, exhausted from the day. Daifuku, just between you and me, I don't think my search for a husband is going very well.
That's not good.
I'm not even sure how to meet men. I stick out like a sore thumb just sitting in the plaza. I recalled the men I met today. The one at the plaza ran away, and that blue soldier was one of the worst I've ever met. Hence why we're going to fall in love with him. I like it. Himuka, there's something scary about him, and I'm not sure I can trust him yet. He doesn't seem to be older than 20. I understand why no one wants to come near me. It's like there's an invisible wall between me and everyone else. The way I used to be certainly didn't help. Everyone avoids me and won't even talk to me. I don't want to scare anyone off or make them feel uncomfortable. What do I do?
The men of this island are fools! They don't even know how wonderful you are, Hime.
Oh, that's right. A young man I met today had the same power as me.
Huh?
His hair was silver, so I thought he was from Tenyo Island. Not that it's possible, since there were no other survivors. Come in. Doma. Every time this bitch shows up, I can't help it. I smile a lot. I know you're probably evil and you're such a dick, but God, you're hot. The military informs me that you caused a dispute in Yomi today. I didn't cause anything. I was just passing through. The military has proposed to restrict your entry into Yomi to shield you from danger. Sounds like they're being lazy. It's absurd that they'd order me not to go simply because they can't handle these situations. You wish to see Tsukuyomi? Yes, but it seems that he hasn't returned yet from Tenyo Island. Perhaps he was cursed by Amaterasu and sank to the bottom of the ocean. How dare you! Lady Amaterasu would never do such a thing! I am not from Tenyo Island. I need not hold your god in high esteem. Keep that up and you'll see Lady Amaterasu's wrath. She's like, do you want to lose your other hand, bitch? I love this. As though a powerless god can do anything. What has this Amaterasu done for you? If anything, you should be praising me. The Red Calamity. 13 years ago, the women of Tenyo Island perished, and all sunlight was lost. You were the only one who remained, too young to deliver the prayer alone. Therefore, I created a means by which the sun could burn with the light of souls. I am your savior. Yes, he did save me and the rest of the island. He was probably revered like Lord Hiroko and Lord Jigen before I arrived on this island. Creating the solar link has elevated his existence even further, to that of a god. Like, I feel like there's something so sus about this, though. Like, you used to make... Well, it's the funniest part is, Lady Amaterasu, like Amaterasu, right? She's a worthless god. But we used to do the magic dances that made the sun rise, and then because everybody on our island died, you did a sunlink thing to make it rise. But you're telling me our god is worthless, but when we couldn't do our magic dances to appease her, the sun went away, and you kind of like the sun. You are just full of contradictions! Like, go out and find a husband, but nobody wants you. You're vile and disgusting, but you're also at the top of the color class. Like, what is your game, bro? He's just really mad about his left hand. Maybe he was left-handed and now he can't whack off. I don't know. Like, look, the man needs to get some, but, you know, not from us. Voluntarily from us, because, like, dude, I find you ridiculously attractive. But she's not into it, so it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I appreciate what he's done, but the sun disappeared recently. It was a momentary instability. How many times must I tell you this? I've already taken care of it. Are you really sure? The sun won't disappear again? Are you afraid? Or simply insecure about your own uselessness? Yeah, I feel like he's got such a hard-on for us. That's why he's so mean to us, because he can't handle it. I don't know. I love this man. He's like such a fucking asshole. He's like the raging queen of the assholes. I couldn't help but glare at him. It's not what I'm saying. Then be quiet and do your job. I could tell that his words didn't come from a place of trust. Not that I trusted him either. In any case, do not cause any more problems. And with that, he turned his back to me. A thought suddenly crossed my mind. Come to think of it, I heard the story about Olympia today. Are you telling me I'm your doll or something? He slowly turned around to face me. A cold smile appeared below his chilling stare. Wow. What do you think? Even though you bring misfortune, we must preserve the white blood. I will turn a blind eye to your selfishness, so be sure you do not die, Olympia. If your life is in danger, you must kill. I feel like we tried to do that to you, and that's why you have Scary Hand. I won't do that again. We almost killed him, so that's, yeah, interesting. What one seeks? A husband? We can't find that yet. We still got lots of chapters till that happens. Third time's the charm! Man, if only that were easy. Alright, it's the third time there you go, number 3. I'm pretty sure that means you'll have to fall twice. Oh, I'm pretty sure that means you have to fail twice before something good happens. Which means I should be able to talk to at least one man without any problems today. Oh, she's so naive and adorable. I carefully looked around the area. Given what happened in Yomi yesterday, I decided to have Daifuku stay back at the manor again. It's a bit lonely without him around, but if something bad were to happen, he could end up trampled. Ugh, Lady Amaterasu, please give me... Why is that person wearing a cloth around his face? He's selling something, isn't he? Interesting. He's a turquoise boy. Something about the sight of it made me hesitate. No one in the plaza seems surprised by him. On the contrary, he seems quite approachable. As I kept my eyes on the lone merchant. Good day! A young man was standing right next to me. Aw, he's kind of adorable, this little orange boy. Good day. Who was he? His color ribbon was orange. His color ribbon's orange. So is his hair and his eyes. But color ribbon, sure. Is that some sort of uniform? His garments were of high quality, with subtle gold adornments that spoke volumes about his wealth. I also noticed he was carrying a small stack of folded papers under his arms. Could he be a teacher? He looks young. Bert, you cannot burrow under my headset. Forgive me for disturbing you, but are you saving the seat for someone else? Oh, are you going to be shady? Because you seem kind of nice, and he's kind of cute. Saving? No. Then may I have a seat? I looked around at the other benches nearby, but there are a lot of benches open. Oh, is this your favorite spot? I'm sorry, let me get out of your way. I wanted to speak with you, Lady Olympia. I heard you were looking for a husband. Okay, the first man that... Hey, you know what? Girl. Akaza basically offered and you threw him under the bus. I leapt off the bench in surprise. Is there a problem? Wait, could he be my future husband? No, but I like the way, she's just like, oh, clearly. Please don't worry, I don't mean you any harm. But if you're in a hurry, perhaps we can meet another day. Well, I was hoping I could ask you about your search. Search? So This was all happening so suddenly. My mind went blank and I felt sweat rolling down my back. Please don't be alarmed. I'm not... I'm sorry. Maybe next time. Lady Olympia. I like the fact that she's like, I'll find a husband, and then this guy comes up to her and he's like, oh my god. Why can we not marry you? Holy shit, he is beautiful. I fell with a heavy crash onto the sand. He is gorgeous. I took a... Oh, that's right. That's another word for carriage. Whatever. A mode of transportation commonly known as a carriage. Let's just call it a carriage. Island residents pay a fare to the driver to be brought to a specified destination. But I feel like it's not... Fiacre? I don't understand. I feel like it's... I'm stupid for not being able to pronounce this, but I've never seen this word in my life before. But, I want to say farce every time I see it, because it just looks weird. But anyway, a carriage from the plaza to the wharf. And from the wharf, I ran straight to the beach. Can we seriously just call it a carriage? Because it's easier than weird words that may actually exist in the world, or could have just been made up for the game. I don't know. I'm so stupid. I've ruined my chances for the third time. I tried to catch my breath as I looked back in the direction of the plaza. It's so funny because she's looking for a husband and this guy's like, so you're looking for a husband? She's like, ah! Just bolts. Not that I could see it from the beach. I just assumed nothing would happen since all the men here kept their distance from me. I mean, I can't blame her for that. You're like, hi, and they all run away, and this time when someone's like, hey, you're like, I don't know how to do this. What was I supposed to do back there anyway? I gazed out at the serene ocean as I continued down my list of excuses as to why I ran away. Even if I were to return now, he must have already left the plaza feeling angry. I'm just... sorry. As the guilt settled in, I felt like jumping into the sea. I can't believe I ran away from someone who actually approached me. I must apologize to him if I'm lucky enough to see him again. My breathing finally slowed as I shifted my eyes back to Tenyo Island across the sea. Perhaps he was cursed by Amaterasu and sank to the bottom of the ocean. You don't believe in my useless god, do you? But like, oh, but sure, she cursed poor fucking Tsukiyomi, huh? When is Tsukiyomi going to return? I doubt the whirlpools around the island would sink him. Or did something happen on Tenyo Island? The whirlpools look like gaping holes from where I sat. I kind of feel like maybe those things that are like on the left side of the island there, like they look like little white swirly patterns. Maybe those are supposed to be this. Maybe that's supposed to be them. You can kind of see them when they do the map view, but smaller boats would likely be sucked in instantly. I'm sure he's fine. Yusuke did say that he sometimes doesn't come back for weeks. Oh? Who do we have here? Are you all right? I hurriedly stood up and dusted the sand off my clothes. Good day, Lord Jigen. I'm sorry to worry you. I was just resting after a long run. I see. Glad to see you're well. Thank you. I trusted and respected Lord Jigen. That's why I feel like he's shady, but he has a ball shawl, which is hilarious, so. At first he made me nervous, but I soon found out how gentle and kind he was, which is why I feel like that's suspicious, but I guess I don't trust anyone in the game. I'm not even sure I trust, like, every single fucking Otome game. Can we just have one that's happy and there's no, like, assault or evil or murder or anything? Like, can we, like, but then it wouldn't be as much fun, I guess. I'm not saying the assault stuff, but I mean, like, if it's, like, murder mysteries or, like, whatever, it wouldn't be as much fun if there wasn't some kind of weird mystery and somebody wasn't shady. But the game is always like, okay, so obviously Doma's shady. He screams shady. He's like, hello, I am Shady. His name is Shady. We call him Doma, but his real name is Shady. His name's Shady Doma, okay? Like, but, like, Jigen is so nice and seems so nice and docile that, again, feel like he's gonna chop me up into little bits in his basement. I'm just saying. These games have taught me not to trust fucking anybody. I don't trust anybody. Anyway. Lord Jigen, are you here to search the beach as usual? Indeed I am. His search entailed keeping watch over the beaches, to see if any outsiders had washed ashore. It's become my pastime to search for things too nowadays. I haven't found anything rare yet, but I've been able to gather a collection of seashells. I'm always amazed at how no two shells are ever alike. And that reminds me of how we played with seashells where I came from. Bivalves such as clams have a perfectly matched shell, so we would line up the different sides to see if we could find their match. How cute! I didn't know people beyond the ocean played with shells like that. Two halves of one, and the lore on this island is somewhat similar. I blushed as I remembered about my search for a husband. He's winking at us. I was surprised by the trial last time. I knew about the Kotowari, but I didn't expect to hear anything about my marriage. It really came out of nowhere. Indeed, if the military is power, then I suppose the Kotowari is intelligence. Intelligence? They gather information and resolve problems related to color with calm objectivity. They are enforcers as much as they are guardians. Because of them, we are able to live in peace. What do you mean? Lord Hirako is the most venerable on the island, but he does not govern directly. And next in line would be me, Doma, and Shura. But there's a limit to what we can do with only the three of us. That's true. Hi! Yomi Uprising. There's only 3 people you gotta take out. Those who commit crimes are first captured by our military. Then they are questioned. Next, the Kotowari reviews statements without bias so that a fair trial can be held. Managing such records is also part of their role in controlling the information on this island. They're like judges and librarians and county clerks. They everything. That's why Akaza doesn't have fucking room for emotions. He's like, I have so much knowledge in here. Emotions can't fit in my brain, okay? I did not put my emotion chip in. I got my logic chip in right now, okay? Finally, a trial is held before us, and a final verdict is rendered. I didn't know the details. Thank you very much. That was very informative. Now it doesn't surprise me why the Iron Mask is like that. Lord Jigen, I've been very surprised these past few days by how little I knew about this island. I suppose studying and learning etiquette in the manor wasn't nearly enough. Staying inside reading books does have its value, but there are some things you can only discover by going outside and searching on your own. It's exactly as you said, Lord Jigen. There are so many things out here that I could only really see with my own eyes. Indeed. I'll do my best to learn more, and thank you very much. That's a good habit. You have a bright future ahead of you as long as you continue to seek knowledge. His wonderful words were the exact reason I trusted and respected him so much, which I just feel like the game keeps telling me how much we trust this man. That's why I feel shady about it. Unlike a certain someone who only cursed at me. But, like, here's the thing, right? Right? You were like, Snape is evil! And Snape was not evil! Spoiler, if, you know, but, like, I'm just saying. Look. I always liked Snape when I read the books because I saw the movies first. I saw some of the movies first. I think the fourth movie came out on DVD when I'd started reading the books, but I hadn't read that book yet. But, like, I saw the movies first, and I love Alan Rickman. So, like, I was like, no, I don't care if Snape is evil. I love him because I love Alan Rickman. And look, I was right. See, Snape isn't evil. He can't be evil if he's played by Alan Rickman, even though, like, I mean, Hans Gruber was fucking evil. But I'm just saying, Alan Rickman is a gem. Was a gem. He's still a gem. Oh, God, now I'm sad again. Anyway. So, right? I mean, you were like, he is evil, and he wasn't evil. And then, like, the nice, sweet person is really evil. I don't think there was anyone in that. Like, what? Now I'm trying to think, was there anyone in Harry Potter who seemed really, really nice and was really fucking evil? No, everybody seemed kind of shady. Anyway. That's right, except for McGonagall. Well, Dumbledore seemed kind of nice, but he was a little shady if you think about it. You were like, I don't know, like, you're just throwing this poor, like, 11-year-old child into, like, the pits of hell here. Like, bro. Like, dude, are you sure you should be taking care of kids? I'm a little sus, right? Let's say you learn something. You begin to feel unsatisfied with the status quo, and now you're looking to learn even more, to change things. But any attempt to disrupt or change the laws of Tengu Island is seen as unacceptable. Lord Jigen, is it wrong to learn for the purpose of making changes? Is it evil? Both good and evil. Those who want to change will see it as good, while those who do not will see it as evil. You're right. But it is in the nature of water to flow. When it stagnates, it begins to emit an unbearable odor. I wish to become the kind of person who does not fear change. I admired Lord Jigen more than ever. He always said exactly what I needed to hear, as if he could read my mind. Maybe he can. I wish that for myself, too. Lord Jigen squinted gently, and he looked out toward Tenyo Island. I mean, he was cursed land and blood, right? That's what the red people got. So it's kind of like, are you like, this is just our lot in life? Or are you like, fuck this shit? Like, I don't really know where you're gonna, like, he really is happy hippie, or, again, murderous body chopping up in the basement. I'm just saying, it could go either way. I heard you met Tokisada and Yomi. And Yomi, why did I say Yumi? I was like, Yomi? Yomi. There's no hiding anything from him. There's no hiding anything from any of these fuckers. Did you know that he is an outsider, just like myself? Outsider? There are 5 outsiders living on Tengu Island. Hiruko, Tsukuyomi, Grandmaster Jigen, Grandmaster Doma, and Amakusushiro Tokisada. Why does he got the longest fucking name? Huh? But he's so young. That was completely unexpected. Age matters not. This ocean is connected to all places and brings forth many different things. He was brought here by the waves as we were. His narrowed eyes reflected the sunlight and gave a mysterious glimmer. That's right. Tokisada's eyes looked just like Lord Jigen and Doma's. So, he really is an outsider. Maybe Tokisada's name was familiar to me because I'd heard it from Lord Jigen or Tsukuyomi. Did Tokisada come from a different place from where you lived, Lord Jigen? And no, I believe we came from the same place. Did you know Tokisada before? I had heard his name, but we lived rather far apart, so I never had a chance to meet him. Which is why I'm happy to have met him here. I suppose fate brought us together. What an incredible coincidence. There's something very weird about this. Like, there's outsiders, and he's like, no, I heard his name once before, though, and you're like, where did you live before? And yeah, you know what I mean? It's not like, I came from somewhere else, but I don't remember it. Like, you remember what you did before, and it's just strange. Like the Matrix. He's like, I fell into this painting. We are literally in a fucking museum in a painting. This is Night at the Museum, motherfuckers. We live in a painting. Just, You know what I mean? There's going to be some kind of weird fucking reveal where you were like, what? Some painting matrix. I don't know. We live in MS Paint. That's why you can never get rid of it on your computer. It's always there. You would kill all the people if you deleted MS Paint. Don't do it. Oh, what an incredible coincidence. I don't know if I read that. Both new and old can be found on this island. I wondered if this is the future or the past of the world where I lived before. At first, I thought I arrived in heaven, but the people were all human. Of course we are. From our point of view, you're like a god, Lord Jigen. But I am merely a human as well. With powers. I could never be a god. The mandala diagrams infinite worlds, of which none can be proven false. We can assume they all exist in reality. Mandala, a representation of the universe containing patterns that depict gods and deities. Tsukuyomi uses Sho to create the dye to paint the mandala of this world. See, we're getting into we live in a painting. I'm sorry, but what is this mandala? They're fun to color. It's a really good, like, meditation technique. If you're, like, stressed out, coloring is good, and coloring mandalas is fun. Lord Jigen picked up a thin piece of driftwood and began to outline an elephant pattern on the damp sand. Wow, I can't read. And the mandala is a symbolic image, and they can be drawn for various purposes. It can be used to convey the structure of the world and its noble teachings, or perhaps as a prayer of enlightenment and peace. It's something that can only be found in the land where you came from, Lord... Oh, is it something that can only be found in the land where you came from, Lord Jigen? Who knows? It may very well drift here tomorrow. I tried to look beyond Tenyo Island. So the island you came from is far beyond the ocean. Indeed. Far, far away. It's unfair we can't go there with all the whirlpools in our way. Having been raised on an island, you know well how dangerous the ocean can be. You're entirely alone without any land in sight. Nothing comes to your rescue, no matter how far you look into the horizon. During the long journey, many deplete their rations or fall ill, yet many embark, dreaming of what lies beyond. Perhaps they dream of a new land, or perhaps of Potalaka? Potalaka. A paradise said to exist far beyond the ocean. That's where you fall off the edge of the flat earth. I wasn't sure I understood everything Lord Jigen was saying. That's because he comes from a foreign place. His words piqued my interest, but it'd be impertinent of me to ask about every detail. Wow. Potalaka. Maybe Tsukuyomi knows what it is. Was it by chance that everyone arrived here, Lord Jigen? Or did everyone wish to come? Oh? A large wave rolled ashore, then receded to reveal... Look, Lord Jigen, a bottle with a letter in it. Would it be alright if I opened it? No harm in that. Hello, this letter from Tokyo, Japan. I hope someone finds it. If so, please reply. September 30th, 2021. Well, that's fucking weird. Okay. This is weird. Because this is like, it's an island, it's all this, and all of a sudden there's like, here's Tokyo, and oh, by the way, September 30th, 2021. But it is 2021, and it is September. Creepy. Like, I don't know when this is going up. You know what would have been funnier if this part was actually going up on the 30th? It's almost the 30th, probably, for you now. I'm not sure what part we're on. How many parts did I do today? Wait, hold on. I think this is part 7? Okay, wow. This part's going up on the 21st. Honestly, this game is not going up on the 30th. So, but that would have been, but it's still trippy as fuck. That's in a couple days for you. That's fucking weird. That's just obviously they did that on purpose. Like, I feel like the date might have been whatever in the game. You know what I mean? But it's just... We're in some kind of weird Matrix shit. This is freaking weird. Like, are we like a fucking experiment? Are we like a weird experiment? Like some rich dude bought a private island and like made this creepy weird shit. Because like this is weird. Tokyo exists in this universe, but it's... This is weird. Anyway, Tokyo. Tokyo, a land once known as Edo, where Grandmaster Jigen lived in the other world. Wow. Its current culture and technology are far more advanced than Tengu Islands, and there's no formal class system in place. The game is like, your island sucks. Wow, Jesus. I kept repeating the word over and over in my mind, hardly believing what I was seeing. Jigen, look, it says Tokyo. Could it be the name of the island beyond the ocean? Is this real? What? Where do we? Okay. This is okay. Okay. I thought Femur Bridge was going to be the weirdest fucking shit that happened in this game, but this is the fucking weirdest shit because it's kind of freaky. Like, you're like, okay, we live on an island. There's like something out beyond the ocean. This is some kind of Truman Show level bullshit. Like, that's what, you know? Do you know what I mean? Like, you watch The Truman Show and you're like, what if everything about your life is a lie? Have you never seen The Truman Show? You should watch it. But you're like, what if everything I know is a lie? What if everything is... What? What do you mean? Or like, I mean, I guess it's like The Matrix, but like, you know, whatever. You're like, wait, what? What? This is all fake. What? But that's the vibes that I'm getting now and it's freaky. You're like, no, wait, what is happening? Because... you start playing this game and you're like, okay, we live in this thing and there's this weird shit and okay. And it's like some kind of alternate universe fantasy land. And then you're like, oh, by the way, Tokyo exists. The real you know. What? Wait. But, and then you're starting the like, oh my God, we actually do live in the Matrix. I know I kind of formulated that we live in a painting in the Matrix in the fucking Night at the Museum or some shit. But like, I didn't really think that's where we were going, but I feel... This is sus as fuck, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. I don't know. That was weird. There's gonna be some kind of huge reveal, like, we're not real, we're just in a video game. Oh, what? No, stop! I don't know. I don't know if I can handle that. Like, anyway. I believe so. That bottle arrived here from a place called Tokyo in Japan. Japan, an island in the other world where Grandmaster Doma and Grandmaster Jigen are said to have lived. I slowly traced my finger over the word, but again, that's freaking freaky. They came, but where are we? What happened? What is this? This is such a cute letter. Wait, Japan, what are you doing? Did you make an island? This is like an island experiment that you're doing? Why? What are you doing? Why? What's happening? Is this someone's art school oh my God, this is like the Lego movie where you're like, we're not actually real, we just live in some kid's imagination and he's just imagining all this shit happening. What? Weird. I don't know if I can handle this. I don't know, it gives you a weird feeling. Like, I just feel like there's a weird feeling crawling up my spine. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not sure I like it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be the reveal, but it's gonna make you slightly uncomfortable, I feel like. I don't know. I can't believe such a wonderful thing was washed ashore. I know this may be rude of me, but I always felt doubtful about this Tokyo place. Also, the fact that it was dated September 30th, 2021, and you're like, I'm not sure when this game first was released, but I feel like, because obviously the localization took a while. So it's not like, I'm wondering if in the Japanese version of the game, the date is different. You know what I mean? Or it's just weird because they wrote it and they were like, 2021, that's a couple years away. And then they localized the game and now you're like 2021 and you're like, that's like literally right now. Okay, it's the future. The kid wrote the letter but that's fucking weird. It's literally several days in the future from when this part is going up. Creepy! Anyway. I didn't believe there was such an island, even after I was taught about it. But it really does exist. It's really true. And people really live there? Indeed, the world is a vast place. I strained again to look beyond my island. The ocean fills the horizon beyond Tenyo Island. The great whirlpools at its edge prevent us from venturing beyond them. Why can't we go that way? Okay, so see, right to his... Okay, we're looking at him. To the left of him is Tenyo Island, right? The whirlpools are all around that. Why can't we go off to the right? That island, if you look at the map from the sky view, that island's off on the right side, right? But there's a whole bunch of ways we can get the fuck away. There's no whirlpools around this island. It's around that one. So why do we have to go that way? Why can't we go any of the other ways? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Were there whirlpools around this island? That would make sense. But there's not. So what the fuck? There's other directions. Why can't we go the other way? Anyway. Even then, that bottle was tossed upon those very waves and arrived to you without as much as a crack. Is it all right if I keep this, Lord Jigen? Of course. You found a fine item today. Thank you. I'll take good care of it. Like the seashell I found before, I gently placed the bottle inside my bag. The waves bring forth what one seeks. The waves bring forth what one seeks. Everything you've taught me today has been wonderful, Lord Jigen. Whatever drifts ashore belongs to whoever finds them, and that's because the waves bring to each person the very thing they must receive. Right, like the red shell telling us Akaza's our boyfriend. And it shall bring them luck. That's what Lord Hiriko said, didn't he? They say he too drifted here from another world. I suppose it means we must never dismiss that which is brought to us. I quickly looked around before whispering, Lord Jigen, I heard you've seen Lord Hiriko before. Through the blinds, yes. But that was a long time ago, right? Doubtful that Lord Hiriko exists? Not at all. I know he's the most important person to exist on Tengu Island, but I wouldn't mind seeing what he looks like. Why not ask Doma for details? She's like, Doma fucking hates me. That's not going to happen. Are things as usual? He hates me. I can only pray that the letter in this bottle will really bring me good fortune. I shall pray for that as well. The end. Goddamn, sorry, bird. Seaside Cottage. Who lives here? Okay, well, I was going to stop here, but, like, it's blue. Huh. Did we ever... was this our cottage, or is this Tsukuyomi's cottage, maybe? Anyway. It's all blue, though. Not that it matters. And we'll find out who lives here in the next part, so... closer to the 30th, when the letter is going to be written before it's tossed into the sea. Weird. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.